Peace. What's up? It's your brother, Mr. Holipsism, here for a brief live stream. The title of this live stream, bear with me 1 second. Peace DeWood, Peace Black Atcha Productions. I'm probably not gonna have any call-ins for this because I just wanna get into it. But in the meantime, bear with me 1 second. I'm having some technical issues here. Alrighty. The title of this live stream is The Fundamental Flaw of the Avatar. The problem with representational movements is people, the masses, use individuals, leaders and representatives, as avatars for whatever movement they support, instead of being personally and actively involved in the movement itself. And if you don't know what an avatar is, I put the dictionary definition in there. I won't go into that now. But people love avatars because instead of being active participants in the process and principles of whatever movement they pretend to support, they can sit back and watch their selected avatar twist in the wind, fighting against the system they claim to hate. And if the avatar fails them or falls short in any way, they can write off the entire movement as a failure and drop out of something they never really dropped into or were ever a part of in the first place. This is kind of like a redux of something that I've done before. If anybody has seen one of my older videos, it was called The Mind Fuck of Leadership. If you want to, you can do a search on that. The Mind Fuck of Leadership, that's what it's called. Now, what I want to do is some little self-promotion, which I never, ever do. So I'm going to take care of this now. And it's not really one of them is self-promotion. If you go to my channel and you look on the home page of my YouTube channel, there's a video for a book giveaway. And the book that I'm giving away is the 33 Principles of War. 33 Strategies of War, sorry, by Robert Greene. And I'm going to give that away when I reach 4,000 subscribers, and I'm close to it. I don't know how far away I am from it, but I know I'm pretty close to it. So when I reach that, I'm going to give away that book. All you have to do is in that video on there, put in the comments, HOLIP 4K, HOLIP 4K. Just put that in there. And when I hit 4,000, what I'm going to do is do like a random YouTube comment picker. And whoever gets it, I'm going to give them the book. That's number one. Number two, please make sure that if you are either watching this video now or either listening to it later, the BAIO is not on Ning. That's a doppelganger site. The official website of the BAIO is BAIO Afrikstan. That's AFRIKSTAN.org. That's the official website of the BAIO. If you are on the Ning site, go to the Ning site, deactivate your account, and register on the official website of the BAIO. Okay? I'm going to actually put the link in that you guys can click on it. You can register. And like I said, deactivate from that other doppelganger site because it's a bullshit site with bullshit people. If you want to get some real shit, go to the ground zero of Black nationalists and African-centered progressives. You're going to find that at BAIOAfrikstan.org. And that's it. That's all. I just want to get that out the way because I never really pushed that as much as I should. The website should have members coming every day. Like you should be forwarding everybody that's frustrated with this American situation to the BAIO website because I don't know where else they have to go other than with nationalists. If you notice, all the we can do it right here people are silent as a peep. They are missing, they are MIA, missing in action. I don't hear nobody talking that bullshit now. You know, it's so funny. I'm getting off. I'm going off on a little tangent, but I'll come back to the thing. What's funny to me is no matter what the situation is, you can find BAIO members talking about it. You know what I'm saying? You never see us running from situations or something happens in society and then we go into hiding because it doesn't, it shows or expose our ideology as being bullshit. What has happened in America? What's happened in general that's proven that land infrastructure and nationhood is some bullshit? Tell me the event this happened. When do we ever go into hiding? No matter what the situation is, we stand on our square and we push our beliefs and our principles and our ideology because the shit is real. All these other phony ass motherfuckers run for the hills and go into hiding. Like when something like the COVID situation happens, where these we can do it right here niggas at? How come I don't see no videos? They just went into complete hiding. You can't find these niggas nowhere. I just find that interesting, but that's just an aside. Let me get back to what the point of this is. The biggest problem that we have as black folks here in America is that we're not actively involved in anything. That's our biggest problem that I can see. We're not actively involved in the process of doing anything to get out of this situation. And unfortunately, what it forces is, and like I said, there's a lot of things that I can understand. Like I understand why people become Han Solo. I really do. I don't agree with it, but I understand it because you don't have any backup. You don't have any support system. So people naturally feel like they're out there on their own. And that's the reason why they choose to opt to go on their own. But the problem with this on your own bullshit is that no man is an island. And you are only as strong as your group. Because if you put a black person in a group, like let's say that there's a black billionaire, and you put him amongst other billionaires, he's going to be the odd man out, even though he's a billionaire. Because he doesn't have his other people, other black folks that's around. There's billionaires like him. So he's like the Jackie Robinson of billionaires. Like that's the situation that we're in all the time. We're the only one, the first black this, it's the first black. So I think the way to gain power, and we look at it all the time, is through group power. Like we look at shows like The Sopranos and The Godfather and all of these gangster shows, and what is it really about? Is Tony Soprano powerful by himself, or is he powerful because he's a part of something? You know what I'm saying? It's like we see other people do it, and then we refuse to do it. Like I don't know if I should say this online. Should I say? I don't even know if I should use this as an example because I can see how like people can try to twist this for me saying something that I'm not really saying. Oh fuck it, let me just do it. What's to stop you? Let's say that you have the local guys in your neighborhood. I'll just pick any random neighborhood, a black neighborhood. What's to stop those guys from extorting every business on their block? What's to stop them? Isn't that what the fucking mob does? Like, that you go to their neighborhood, they shake down every business there. Every business has to pay tribute to the gangster that runs the neighborhood. How come we haven't figured? I mean, I'm not even into crime. How come we haven't done that? Oh, I know why. Because you're scared. You're scared of the foreign people that's coming into your neighborhood setting up shop. You're scared of them, but you're not scared of your own people in the neighborhood. So you rob the people in the neighborhood, but you won't rob the businesses. I'm not saying that that's what you should do. I'm just speaking from the perspective of people that say that they into crime. I don't know. I don't like you see how criminal operations work. You don't want to do anything like they do. Like why? This is one thing I never could understand. Do you ever see mobsters running when the cops come around because they got a gun? I've never seen that. How come you never see them dipping out and hiding it under cars? You never see them. You know why? And me and Dev used to talk about this all the time. The reason why you don't see that is because those guys are licensed to carry because they're technically security. They set themselves up as a security, so when they have a gun on them, they can carry. They don't have to run. But we can't do that though. I don't want to go off into the weeds. What's frustrating is that how many times are we going to keep splitting up? How many times are individual members going to go their own way and try to reinvent the fucking wheel when you have an organization that you can all be a part of? It's just very confusing to me. And this is the reason why I think we haven't really found anybody to, like I did that last show about taking the baton or passing the baton. But you got to have the baton passed to somebody who's willing to take responsibility for the collective instead of just thinking about their own damn self. Like you have people who will come into our midst, say that they about what we're about, land infrastructure nationhood, claim that, oh, they all about the principles and this, but then they go off and do their own thing, and then they get mad because nobody's following them. What the fuck is that? I mean, that's just one point. Another point is I make it a point. I'm telling you, me personally, I push the BAIO website every chance I get to every one of my friends. If they're marginally interested in anything black, I push the BAIO website to them. I send them the About Us page and tell them, yo, read this and tell me what you think. I'm constantly trying to get people to sign up to the BAIO website because the only way anything can get done is if we all come together and congregate and be around each other. And the only way that's going to happen is if people sign up and people meet other people in their neighborhoods. I don't understand why this is so difficult when the site is free. The only thing we require, and this is something that I do unapologetically, we want to make sure that you are a real human being on our site. So there's a vetting process before you actually get full access to the site. We got to know who you are if you're a real person. And I think that that's for the benefit of everybody on the site. Unlike with Facebook, where any other clown, any clown could just call up and click on your thing and have access to all your information. I mean, what we're trying to do is create an environment we're trying to create fertile soil for black nationalists and African-centered progressives. That's what we're trying to do. And not trying, we've done it. It's already done. We just need people to be a part of it. Now, I want each and every person listening to this that's calling themselves a BAIO member. How many people have you got to sign up to the site? And I'm not trying to put anybody on blast. I'm just asking, how many people have you personally got to sign up to the site? Have you signed up to the site? Because there's a lot of BAIO people saying they BAIO and they haven't even signed up to the fucking website. And keep in mind, like I said at the beginning of the show, there's only one website, BAIOAfricstan.org. There's no other website. That's the official website of the BAIO. So you need to be there if you're calling yourself a black nationalist. You need to be there if you're calling yourself an African-centered progressive. You need to be there. How about how many people share the content from the BAIO? Like how many people share my videos, share Minister DeWoo's videos? Personally, everybody listening, everybody that's calling themselves a nationalist or you about that black stuff or whatever. How many people do you share this content with? See, the problem with the avatar is that the avatar makes it easier for you not to be involved. Because you can put all of your energy on that avatar. I'll give you an example of how that worked out with this Democratic primary and Bernie Sanders. What happened? You had all of these people putting all this energy into Bernie Sanders, thinking that Bernie Sanders would go against the establishment. And what did Bernie Sanders do at the end of the day? He was a company man. He was an establishment man. He went with the Democratic establishment. And now he's trying to push all of his followers, the people who gave him those small donations, to back Joe Biden. And now everybody's hurt. Everybody's disappointed. Everybody's disillusioned. Why? Because you made him your avatar. Instead of having a movement based on principles, you had a movement based on personality. If you were really about policy, it didn't matter whether it was Bernie Sanders or anybody else. Push your policies. We want Medicare for all. We want a living wage. We want elimination of college debt. We want blah, 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 whatever. Green New Deal, whatever you want. List your policies and go and support the person who supports those policies. And if they don't support those policies, they don't get your fucking vote. That's just an example of what I'm talking about, of this avatar mentality where you put all your energy on a single individual and all your energy on a single personality. And then when that personality fails you, or I won't even say failed, when that personality just be a human being with flaws, then all of a sudden you're disappointed. All of a sudden you can't deal with the movement anymore. All of a sudden you got to drop out. Now, and I'm using this within the context of the Democratic situation. Now, Medicare for all don't mean nothing to you. Now, living wage means nothing to you. Now, elimination of student debt means nothing to you. Why? Because you were disappointed in Bernie Sanders. Do you see what I'm saying about this avatar mentality? And this is the reason why people think there's a reason why I refuse to accept that label of being a leader. Like people always try to put that, oh, you're a leader. I ain't no fucking leader. I'm a person just like everybody else. And I'm not special. I don't have no special ass microphone or no special ass internet connection. I have the same technology available to me that everybody else does. I agree with you 100%, Ronan Black. I don't even think that he was intentionally a sheep herder, but that's exactly what he was if you look at it objectively. But I don't want to get off on him because, like I said, it's not about Bernie Sanders. It's not about any personality. Like I was speaking to Minister today, and me and him were talking about these black talking heads. And I remember on my last show, I think one of the brothers on the show was going off about young Pharaoh making a point. And I said, and I went back and I listened. And I said, when he said, I said, why are we talking about young Pharaoh? Fuck young Pharaoh. What the fuck am I? We sitting on a live stream getting to the minutia of young Pharaoh. Fuck him. And it ain't even personal. I don't know that kid. I never even heard a video from him. I just hear the name all the time. But my point is this, and I said this to Minister. Let's say young Pharaoh is legit. What the fuck difference does that make to land, infrastructure, nationhood? Let's say that young Pharaoh is full of shit. What difference does that make to land, infrastructure, nationhood? Let's say Tariq Nasheed is for real. What difference does that make to land, infrastructure, nationhood? Let's say Tariq Nasheed is full of shit in the con man. What difference does that make to land, infrastructure, nationhood? What difference does it make if Umar Johnson is sincere to land, infrastructure, and nationhood? What difference does it make if Umar Johnson is a freak and completely full of shit to land, infrastructure, nationhood? Do you see? Do you get the sense? Do you get a pattern here? Do you see where I'm going with this? I'll leave it so people don't think they're being attacked. What if Hollop is full of shit? How is that relevant to land, infrastructure, nationhood? What if Hollop is the real deal and legit? How is that relevant to land, infrastructure, nationhood? What if Minister DeWood is for real and legit? What if Minister DeWood is not real and not legit, full of shit? What difference does it make to land, infrastructure, nation? Land, infrastructure, nationhood are your principles, not fucking individuals. And if that individual is not pushing the concept of land, infrastructure, and nationhood, then you got to get away from that individual. If that individual was pushing land, infrastructure, and nationhood, and then they switched up on you and tried to get you to go in another direction, then you got to get rid of that person. The principles is what matter. Those are what matter. The principles, land, infrastructure, nationhood. That's what matters, not individuals, because individuals fall off. One individual cannot make a fucking nation. The entire reason why we have a BAIO is because we've already been through this and we've already come to these conclusions. Ain't nobody, let me be very clear with this. And people can think I'm being negative, but I don't think I'm being negative. I think this is tough love. Nobody's coming to save you, nigga. Nobody. There's no Jesus or Neo character because I know they love pushing that savior shit. There's no Jesus character. There's no Neo character that's coming to fucking save you. If we do not get personally involved in the process of nationhood, then we are going to be under the foot of these white people forever, perpetually. And right now, I'm not even talking about, there's like 40, 50 million black people in America. I'm not even talking about all of them. What about the people that's kicking all this black shit? What about the people who actually put out content talking about our people and talking about social, political, and economic ideas? What's their problem? How are you going to talk to the masses about what they should do when you ain't even getting together with people of like mind? Which begs the question, how many people are really about nationhood? How many examples do we have when push come to shove and when people are asked the right questions, they reveal themselves? Remember the African woman who wanted to create this Wakanda One village? Somebody asked her the right question and she exposed how she really feels. Oh, black people can't, African Americans shouldn't have a nation of their own. They should come in and merge with the existing nation. Oh, really? So 1 minute you was talking about Wakanda One and how African Americans need to come over to the continent. But oh, you want us to come over to the continent as what? Sheep? So we can come and further your agenda? We're going to go to another land where we don't have control over the infrastructure? We want to merge into that particular government? No, 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 no. 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 Check out the BAIO About Us section. Check out the BAIO About Us section and read it. The whole point of the BAIO and the whole point of what we're doing is that we don't have control, social, economic, and political control anywhere on this fucking planet. We were robbed from our original homeland, and now we want to return to our original homeland and establish a base of operations for our people. And anybody saying that that's divisive, go to the website, because these questions have already been answered on the website. You can go to the website and go to our fact section. I've already answered the basic bullshit questions that we usually get. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel. All we have to do is actually get our asses involved in the process of nationhood. And the way to do that is, first of all, sign up to the BAIO website, because unless you can find another website where people are talking about land, infrastructure, and nationhood, then the BAIO website is probably where you need to be if that's what you're about. Now, if you're not about that, then don't be a part of it. We don't want you there. But if you're a nationalist, if you think that black folks should have a nation of their own, you don't have to be no expert. You don't have to be no expert. I don't require you to, because you can learn a skill. If you don't have a skill now, you can learn a skill. What I'm more interested in is who wants a nation? Because any black person that's in this country that wants a nation should be a member of the BAIO, and it's not no paid membership. The only thing we want you to do, sign up to the website, show that you're a real person, and connect with other real people in your area. That's it. That's the big fucking sacrifice that we want everybody to make. And another thing, don't come into the BAIO on some where to land at bullshit, because that's in the fact section too. We address that. Don't come into the BAIO if your intention is to form some small black business for yourself. I have no problem with you forming a small black business for yourself. Don't get me wrong. But when are you going to dedicate some time to working toward the collective? Right, Dennis Cunningham, the correct BAIO. Well, there's only one. There's only one BAIO. It's always only been one, no matter how many doppelgangers want to pop their head up. BAIOAfricstan.org. You want me to put it in again? I'll put it in again. Because people acting like they don't know what the fuck is going on. Oh, I love being on my own channel. I love being on my own channel because I can curse when I want to curse, and I'm not cursing just to be cursing. I'm just expressing myself, and that's how it comes out. Because I don't think I've been filthing and flaunting on here that much, but I do like an occasional fuck to come out. That's just me. Like, I feel restricted when people say, "Oh, don't curse." Like, what's going to happen if I curse? What, you going to melt? Grow the fuck up, man. But anyway, like I was saying, how many times in history do we have to see this same thing happening? You have an organization form, and then instead of people putting their energy and their talents into the organization like Kexia does, people go and withdraw and go in another direction, taking all of their skills and all of their knowledge with them. And what is the BAIO after that? Basically, just what are you doing? Where are we going? I mean, I want architects to get together with architects. I want lawyers to get together with lawyers. I want people in finance to get together with other people in finance. Like I said, the one thing that I wish that I could do, I don't have the skills to do. I feel that the BAIO should form or put the infrastructure in place for an African American fund. Because if we wait around for these black talking heads and these so-called representatives to do it, it's not going to get done. But my only thing is, it has to be transparent and it has to have liability attached to it. because I don't want people getting fucked over with their money. Our people have been fucked over so much. It's amazing that they're willing to donate to anything. So it would be nice if we had like I said, I'm not an expert in finance. I would have to refer to Thomas, but Thomas has limited time based on his schedule to really be doing this thing. So we need other Thomases. We need other finance people. I don't know what's best. A mutual fund could be good. A private equity fund. That's what I keep hearing people saying. Private equity fund is probably better. Okay, why don't we form one? But in order to do that, people have to be involved that know about finance. That's not my specialty. I'm not good at construction. That's my boy Dendada's specialty. We all have specialties, we have skills. And that's the whole purpose of a group. Because with different people coming in and different people associating with each other and different people hanging out with each other and getting to know each other, then you can start to form those groups and we can expand on those groups. And we can have a group with a lot of skill sets in it so that when we reach that tipping point where we have enough skills and enough people to actually make a move, we can make it and we can be made strategically, not emotionally like most of these movements are. So my point is this. I'm not gonna drag this out too long. My point is this. Each individual member within the BAIO and people that are listening to this live stream, you got to check yourself and you got to do some self inventory. And you got to ask yourself, what have I been doing to push the agenda of land, infrastructure, nationhood? Or am I just listening to this stuff or being involved for entertainment purposes? Because right now, I feel we have the best case for nationhood in light of this pandemic. And I don't want to go into the whole pandemic and all of that. I'll just say this. Right now, we're in a lockdown where we can't go anywhere, and you can't even leave the country if you wanted to right now. So don't you think this is the perfect time? And also, let's factor in that all the we can do it right here niggas are missing in action. So there's no counter argument to land infrastructure nationhood. There's no counter argument to us having our own. So shouldn't this be where we push the envelope and push things so that we get more membership, get more people down so that this concept of land infrastructure and nationhood becomes a viral concept? Where that person outside is talking about having a land of our own. If we can't do it in the midst of a pandemic, if we can't show that America is a bad option for our people going into the future in the midst of a pandemic, then our whole shit is bullshit. We need to sit the fuck down and stop talking to these people. Just allow them to do what they're doing and we do what we do on a personal level. But if we are really fucking for real about this having a nation of our own, what other time is better than right now to push that ideology? I mean, who's going to argue with you? If a person was working a job, let's say they're in the service industry and they were working in the restaurant industry. Now the restaurant is closed and they don't have a job. All they can do is collect unemployment. You can't talk to that person. You can't convince that person that, yo, do you see what happened by you relying here on America? Now you ass out. When are we going to have something of our own? Shouldn't you be a part of that? Shouldn't you at least listen to that? Shouldn't you be around people that have that same ideology? Who is the one that's looking out for you? The person that's giving you the truth and telling you what the situation is, or the person that's blowing smoke up your ass and telling you, hey, you can't do no better than you doing right here. This is the place to be. America has prime real estate. That's the nigga. That's the one. That's the one that you want to be listening to, or should you be listening to the people that's been calling this bullshit from day fucking one? Like I said, the BAIO members don't go into hiding when things happen. When Flint, Michigan happened, what happened? All these do it right here niggas went into hiding. When the pandemic happened, what happened? And now either they went into hiding or they off in the woods on some fucking conspiracy 5G bullshit. The only people that's talking about the future for our people are black nationalists and African Senate progressives. And if we can't make our case in the midst of a fucking worldwide pandemic, and especially when the United States, which is taking over in terms, they're number one when it comes to coronavirus cases and deaths, we can't make an argument for nationhood in the midst of this bullshit, then honestly, nobody should be listening to us. Nobody should be listening to us. And like I said, everybody, if you're listening to this live stream and you are not registered on the BAIO website, I'm not really trying to hear a fucking thing that you have to say about anything because you're not serious. Not serious. And we don't make no money off of this. We don't make no money off of this. The BAIO YouTube channel is not monetized. My channel is not monetized. Minister DeWoo's channel is not monetized. We can literally dip out of here and forget about this whole internet shit and be good. So why are we still banging? Why are we still trying to push this message out? Because we realize it's not about us. It's not about a single individual. It's not about some powerful personality. What it's about is people of like mind deciding that they've had enough and that they want to work together toward land, infrastructure, and nationhood. And we are willing to have other people come into the fold who feel the same way, no matter what your skill level is. Just come into the fold with land, infrastructure, and nationhood as your principle. And don't let anybody take you away from that principle. If I make a live stream in the future talking about, yo, you know what, man, y'all need to y'all need to forgive the white man. I mean, he out here working hard for this, to, take care of us in this infrastructure. Leave Howl Up the fuck alone. Because that means I fell off. But land, infrastructure, and nationhood will never fall off. As long as you keep your eyes on that prize, as long as that's your principle, you're going to be all right. You won't be disappointed. You won't be hurt to the point where if somebody does something or if some leader lets you down, you just completely fall out the goddamn movement. And now all the principles of the things you said you believe in, now you don't believe in them no more because some individual let you down. So if in case anybody is new around here, when you sign up to the BAIO, we have groups for where you live here in America. So you can sign up to your state group. We have groups for your profession. So you tell us what your profession is and you will be slotted into that group right at the sign up. And the whole point is we need this nationhood concept to go viral. We need this land, infrastructure, and nationhood to go viral. We need LIN to go viral. And it ain't about no one person and what they did or if they real or if they not. Fuck them. It's about land, infrastructure, and nationhood. And as long as we keep that as the eyes on the prize, we'll be all right. And that's the whole point of this live stream, really. Stop creating these avatars and putting all your energy into them. There shouldn't just be one or two people making videos about land, infrastructure, nationhood. It should be about hundreds or hundreds of people. If they're not making videos, they putting them on their social media saying, yo, we should have a land of our own. Yo, LIN, hashtag LIN, or whatever. They should be letting people know that, yo, I'm about nationhood. I think our people should have a nation of their own. And that when You hear the average person saying that? When you hear the average person saying that, then you know we've succeeded. We've changed the narrative. Because right now the narrative is stay in America, getting your ass kicked, and I'll just sit back and tell you how you're getting your ass kicked, and then pat myself on the back because I was able to break down how to do punch you in your face. That's what our fucking black talking heads and leaders are engaging in right now. Who's engaging in solution-oriented material besides the BAIO? I'll be waiting. Type them in. Type them in. Type in the people who say that they're for land, infrastructure, and nationhood on the continent of our ancestors, and that they want a base of operations controlled by us. Not for us to be a part of somebody else's shit, even though initially we'll have to, piggyback off the grid of whatever nation that we go to. I understand that fully. But the goal is for us to have our own. So you tell me who else is pushing it besides us. And if you can't tell me that, then your ass needs to be signing up. That's all I got to really say. I might take some questions if anybody has it, but not many because I'm not going to stay here that long. I'm probably going to dip out under an hour. Dennis Cunningham, what did you say? That was a flaw of the year return. No offer for land, infrastructure, nationhood for us to obtain on the continent. Correct. Anti-gravity. Yo, what's up, anti-gravity? I haven't seen that name in a while. How long has it been since Flint water crisis? 6 or 7 years. Boom. Pan-Africanism strikes back. Holla. People need to be told what to do, family. Some can work with little to no directions, but most people need to be managed directly. I feel you, but I kind of disagree. I don't disagree with you. I think that what you're saying is true. My problem is this. All right, let me put it to you like this. Babies need to be picked up. Now, I'm not going to say that that's wrong. I'm not going to say that you can't pick them up, but babies need to be picked up. Just because babies need to be picked up, does that mean that babies can't walk? Like, yeah, you pick up babies occasionally, like it might be certain situations where you got to pick them up because they can't walk in that situation. But for the most part, you want the baby to walk. So the only way that baby is going to walk is if you stop picking it up. And it's the same thing with these people that need to be told what to do. Well, if you need to be told what to do, I'm telling you what to do. Sign up to the BAIO website, meet people in your area, share the content, and bring other people into the group. There, I told them what to do. You see my point, fam? I don't think it's telling them what to do. I think people know what they have to do. People just like bullshitting. I've been around a lot of bullshitters, so my bullshit meter is very acute. And most people, they know exactly what the fuck they're supposed to do. They know. But it's lazy and it's easier for them to rely on you because that way they can say, well, you didn't tell me. You didn't show me what to do. And they could always put it off. I'm so used to people. I'll give you, like I said, I made this point before in a live stream. I work with customers. And I learned this over time because I was getting cursed out. And I was like sitting there, why is this person flipping on me and all this? Then I realized it's because I was referring to the bill as your bill. I would speak to the customer. I said, your bill, your bill, your bill. When you do that, you're attacking them. That's how they perceive it. That's an attack. So I stopped it. I stopped saying your bill. And then you know what I started saying? I started saying the bill. That little small difference stopped me from getting cursed out. Because when you say your bill, you're asking them to take responsibility. People don't like being responsible. People want escape hatches out of responsibility. So when you say your bill, you're putting that shit right in their lap, and they get pissed when you do that. So you got to make the bill an abstraction. Well, apparently the bill is high. I don't know how that happened. Isn't that some crazy shit? I'm telling you this from experience. This is by dealing with people on a day-to-day basis. People don't want responsibility. The vast majority of people don't want responsibility. If they bump into a wall, they say the wall is stupid. So I know how this works. I know how it works. People don't people want that's the purpose of this whole avatar thing. People want you to be the avatar because if you're the avatar, you get to do all the work and they can sit back and watch you. So you see what I'm talking about? Pan-Africanism strikes back. I'm not flipping on you. It has nothing to do with you. It's just that whole concept that people need this and need that. For another thing that does is it gives pimps a justification for pimping. Because don't you find it odd that it's like when the people want to pick a personality, that personality never says, no, 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 it ain't about me, it's about this. They sit there and they just sit back, put their hands behind their head and get laced up. Well, the people need somebody to worship, so I guess it's got to be me. Nah, we got to treat the people like that baby with his arms up that constantly wants to get picked up. You may pick him up once in a while, but for the most part, you got to let him walk. So if people need to be told what to do, I already told you. Sign up to the BAIO website, pass and share this content, bring other people into the group, and meet people in your area. There, I told you what to do. Yeah, propaganda on. See now, anti-gravity. You touching on something that I briefly touched on earlier. That we need hundreds of people pushing LIN and not just one or two people. Because if people associate LIN with just me and Minister DeWood, that's a problem. That's a problem. You got to have people out there that's pushing that ideology and pushing those principles on their pages, on their social media, when they talk offline to their family, to their friends. People have got to hear about this concept of LIN and really embrace what that's all about. We know it, but I don't want us to get stuck in this fucking circle jerk where we're just around here. What they call, like when you're in a bubble where you and the people that's around you know all this stuff, but we got to be outside of that because we have to grow. I love my big brother Hollop. Love you too, bro. Odas, what's up? He says thinking for ourselves is the only form of individualism that black people avoid. Thinking for ourselves is the only form of individualism that black people avoid. You got to explain that to me. What do you mean by that? When you say ourselves, do you mean the person personally, or when you say ourselves, do you mean the collective? If you're saying the collective, well, then that doesn't make sense. Thinking for ourselves as a collective is the only form of it, because thinking for ourselves is not individualism. Got to explain that to me. What else? Ronan, what is Ronan saying? You see President Clown Car doing that in his COVID-19 briefings. He gets bent when people point out how shitty his response was to this pandemic. Yeah. Trump is like low-hanging fruit. I'm so bored with him at this point. I'm so bored with that dude. At 12 years in corporate America taught me that this culture promotes mental dependency on a larger personality. Yeah. But we got to be different. We got to be different. And that has been talked about. Pan-African Strikes Back. Like when in the early days of the BAIO, that was something that we talked about. Like having that powerful personality promote this and everybody rally behind that person. I mean, there's some advantages to that, But to me, it's like I prefer quality over quantity, because that person can get a lot of bodies, but how many of those bodies are actually active in the movement? You know, you can get a person that can fill a goddamn, stadium full of people, but how many of those people are going to be involved in the process of nationhood? So I'd rather have a small amount of people that have highly skilled, highly dedicated, passionate people that's about this concept than thousands of people who just want to be entertained. And that's what I don't want to do. Like I said, I never had a top hat and cane. Sammy Davis Jr. died years ago, and he was the world's greatest entertainer. Who's going to top him? So people need to get involved. People need to I need to see more videos talking about land infrastructure nationhood. Bottom line, and I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. It's like people don't want to put that out there because they feel either they're afraid that somebody's going to know that they're for nationhood. I don't know. All I know is that I'm not seeing it. Darius says we need different wings, a youth wing, a trade. Yeah, a political party, and women. We have to permeate the entire society. Exactly. Exactly. Greetings, Caroline. People forget Trump is such an idiot surrounded by a council of doom. Like I said, I'm not even going to talk about him. Odo says, personally, because it places the burden and responsibility on the person, because you're daring to challenge popular ideology and stand on your own idea. Yeah. But guess what? There's only two choices in this. There's only two choices. We either going to rule ourselves or we're going to be ruled over. So which one do you want? And I'm personally disappointed in black men as a whole, and the black men of my particular cultural conscious demographic. I'm really disappointed in, because you would think in the midst of all of this bullshit that's going on, we would say, you know what, we need to rally together around these three principles. If we don't agree on anything else, we can disagree religiously, we can disagree spiritually, blah 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 blah, we can disagree on a whole bunch of shit, but we need to rally around those three principles of land, infrastructure, and nationhood. We need to rally around those three principles, because that's the common denominator that should bind us all. So if you come into the BAIO, it's not like you following me, because I'm not no goddamn leader. It's not like you following anybody else. What you following is a principle. And if you believe that we should have a land of our own, if you believe that we should have a nation of our own, if you believe that we should control the infrastructure of the nation that we live in the socioeconomic and political context, what is the reason why you're not signed up? Everybody in this chat room should be signed up to the BAIO website. If you're not, like I said, I'm looking at you sideways. Anybody that's listening to this video should be signed up to the BAIO website. If you're not, I'm looking at you sideways. I'm thinking that you are a movie patron. I'm thinking that you go into a concert when you come and you hear us talk. Because that's exactly what you're doing. You're coming to be entertained. If you're for real, you should be signing up to the website and meeting people in your area and networking with people and congregating and socializing, because it's a social network. That's what it is fundamentally. It's not a small black business. It's a social network. And the end game for the BAIO as an organization is a government. That's the end game, a government. If we have enough skilled people in the midst that all believe in nationhood and all believe in LIN, guess what? We'll be forming a government with those skilled people, and then there won't need to be a BAIO, because we'll have a nation. And like I said, BAIO has always been a means to an end. If you're African, can you join Help the BIO? Hell yes, because we have international chapters. If you're from Kenya, we got a Kenya group. If you're from, Guyana, we got a Guyana group. You're from Ghana, you're from Rwanda, you're from Nigeria. All of those groups, we got a chapter in the BAIO. So yes, if you're African, a continental African, you can join. And if you're African American or live here in the States, you can join. We don't exclude anybody as long as the only way you'll be excluded from the BAIO is if you don't believe that people here in America, black folks here in America who were robbed from our homeland, should not have a nation of their own. If you endorse that philosophy, where you don't believe that we should have, and I'm not talking about merging into somebody else's country, merging into somebody else's infrastructure. I'm talking about the goal for African Americans and African diasporans to have a nation of their own, where they can control policy. If you are against that, that's the only way you can't be down with the BAIO. So that's about it. I made it in under an hour, which is what I wanted. But once again, two things. Go to my channel, YouTube channel. Go to the video that says my book giveaway. Go to the comments section and put in HOLIP 4K. HOLIP 4K. Because when I hit 4,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away a book. And the book I'm giving away is The 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene. That's number one. Number two, go to the BAIO website, sign up. That's BAIOAfricstan.org. I posted it in the group during the chat like multiple times. If you want, I'll do it again. Because I know somebody's going to ask me, yo, what's the link to the BAIO website? Believe it or not, I get that all the time. Sign up. Join your state chapter. Tell us what your profession is. And reach out to other people in that state. Reach out to them. Talk to them over the phone. Do a Zoom, whatever. We need to be doing some Zoom meetings in these state chapters since we can't have meet and greets. I'm so down to do a New York Zoom meeting, but I just personally haven't organized it because I'm fucking tired of organizing it. Somebody else needs to organize the shit. But yeah, that's it for me, y'all. Thank you all for listening to me rant and rave for an hour. I love you all, man. Like everything that I'm saying, I'm not saying it to beat people up. I'm not saying it to attack people. I want us to be better. I want us to grow. I want this nationhood thing to become viral. I don't want the BAIO to turn into some fucking motorcycle gang where we're so insular and so cut off from the people that we're trying to be a part of this whole process. This is not a motorcycle club. There ain't no BAIO patch or vest you got to be wearing. Just believe in the concept of land, infrastructure, nationhood, and us having a land of our own and welcome into the fold. And on that note, I'll holler at you good people later, all right? Peace, y'all.